Hi, it's Lisa from Hollybobs. Today I thought I'd talk to you about how we got rid of the children's dummies. Both my children had dummies. Holly had it from birth as she was really attached to it, and I wasn't looking forward to getting rid of hers because it was just an absolute meltdown if we ever went anywhere without the dummy. Jack didn't have his quite so young. We tried it at first, he wasn't really keen, but then all of a sudden at 9 months he decided he liked it. I think he must have tried one of Holly's and was hooked. And he was even more attached to it then in the end than Holly was. So both children, we were a bit unsure how they would sort of cope with getting rid of their dummies. But we knew we had to do it, and they weren't showing really any signs of doing it on their own. So by the time they were getting to 3, we decided enough was enough. It was time to get rid of them. So we introduced the dummy fairy. So what we did to start with is we only let them have their dummies at bedtimes and nap times. They weren't allowed to have it sort of downstairs. They weren't allowed to have it walking around the house. I think we occasionally took it in the car with us. If we went to friends' houses, we always made sure we had some with us in case they fell asleep or needed to fall asleep while we were out and about. But for the most part, they only had their dummies when they were sleeping in their beds. So we kind of slowly reduced it over time, probably over a couple of months. And then by the time it was ready for their 3rd birthdays, we talked to them about how the dummies were going to go. So with Holly, I said to her that, she's getting 3 now, she's getting grown up. It's going to be time that the dummies are coming, and when you turn 3, the dummy fairy comes and she takes your dummies. And what she does is she takes them to other babies who don't have dummies and, need them because they're upset. I actually went on YouTube and I showed her a few videos of babies crying. At that age, they still, believe everything you tell them. And she commented quite a few times, oh, those babies need my dummies, oh, those babies are crying. So she kind of got it in her head that by that date, she was going to be giving the dummies up. So when the day actually came, it was her birthday. She had a birthday party, so she was pretty tired out by the end of the day. So I sort of had my fingers crossed that it was going to go well. What we did was she went round with her daddy. We gave her a little bag, a little special bag, and she went around the house and collected all her dummies from wherever they were, sort of under her cot probably, or bed, under the sofa, on the side, wherever they'd all collected. We had tons. It was ridiculous how many dummies we had in the end. And she went round with Daddy and we talked about why we were doing it. And then she went to the front door and she hung them on the front door, ready for the fairies to come and collect them. And then she went to bed. I think that first night, it did take her a while to settle. She was a bit upset. She kept asking for her dummies. But we had to be strong. We had to be firm with it. I think I sort of had a bit of a wobble at one point and was like, oh, I'm not sure if we're doing the right thing. Maybe we shouldn't be forcing this on her. Maybe we should be waiting for her to make the decision ourselves. But my husband sort of said, no, we've started now, we've got to be firm, we've got to stand strong, and we've got to do it. So we did, we carried it out, and she did eventually go to sleep. I can't remember what time. She did go to sleep in the end, and she slept through the night. She was absolutely fine. But what I did, I'd pre-prepared a few little gifts that she was going to get from the fairies. So she actually loved fairies. It was, they were quite magical for her. We'd gone on fairy hunts and things like that. Got her a few little bits and took all the dummies and I threw them in the bin. To me, that was really important because they weren't there for me to fall back on. We didn't have anything. They were in the bin. There was no way we could get them back out. So we threw them in the bin and then we put all these presents in her bag. I moved the bag upstairs, so just outside her door, and I sprinkled fairy dust from the front door up to where this bag was, and I put some inside the bag. So when she woke up the next day, we sort of said to her how well she did, really praised her, and then she came outside her door and there was this little bag waiting for her and she was so excited. But by the end of the week, she was going to bed fine. She did really, really well, no problems at all. So when it came to Jack, we sort of did a similar thing. We gathered all his up as well, we put them in a bag, but we left him a little Blaze toy because he was into blazing the monster machines at the time, so he got a Blaze toy from the dummy fairy. I don't even know if he remembers that anymore, but he still has that Blaze toy, and it's something that I will definitely treasure because he was absolutely over the moon again with this toy. He was telling everybody about it, and he did brilliantly. He didn't even ask for it. He went to sleep brilliantly that night. Another thing that you could do is have like a blanket or a cuddly toy or something that you could give them from the fairy, or just from you if you're not doing the fairy, and that is help for them to transition from the comfort of a dummy onto the comfort of something else, because what you've got to remember is they've had this dummy for years. It's been a really big comfort to them when they're going to sleep. It's been a really important aid for them to go into sleep, and just taking it out cold turkey, if that's what you do like we did, you know, it's helpful for them to transition that onto something else and have something else that they can use to comfort them. If you're not happy about going cold turkey, you know, you could reduce it. Obviously, we had reduced it previously, so we just had the dummy at bedtime. But from then on, you could go in once they're asleep and take the dummy out, so that they're sort of getting used to being asleep without a dummy in their mouths. And if they wake in the night, they kind of can try and resettle themselves without a dummy. And that way, they're getting to learn that they don't need a dummy to settle themselves. They can go to sleep without it. And that just makes that transition a bit easier when you finally do take the dummies away. And also, I would say, don't beat yourself up. If it doesn't work, you're not successful, it doesn't matter. Try it again in a few months, because a few months at that age makes so much difference, and they're probably going to be more ready. And it'll be easier on you. You know, at the end of the day, they're your children and you're the parent, and you do things that work for you. It doesn't matter if so-and-so did it one way, or if the internet tells you should be doing it another way. At the end of the day, do what's best for you and do what's best for your child. So if it doesn't work, don't beat yourself up about it. There's always another time to try it, and you'll get there eventually. What grown-ups have dummies? So those are my best tips from what I did to get rid of the dummy. I hope these have helped you a little bit. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'd love it if you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!